Hi, everybody. Welcome to Tuesday. I am Sybil Wilkes. It's Sybil, along with J. Ain't Brown. What are you doing?
Sigma's
Oh,
Founders Day is coming up.
okay. Did you want to wait till Founders Day, or it's
No,
never
I just
too
want to get
early
in there. I
to?
want to get it in early.
I
So
can't tell you how many
I
times.
can't
All
tell how
right.
many times I've said that. Good money for it.
How you doing, J. Ain't Brown?
I'm doing good. Last night was a great night. Great, fantastic night. 8 comedians for
You
benefit for
were on
Sinbad.
stage last night.
Uh, oh, um, John D.C. Curry, Bruce,
Oh my
Arnaz
God.
J, Lavelle Crawford, D.L. Hughley, myself. So that's pretty much everybody. Did I leave out anybody? No, no. An
That's a,
earthquake. Yeah.
that's a lot.
Everybody did 20 minutes except Don. He did an hour and a half. So
Well,
I,
old men, they tend to take their
I
time.
think he's still on stage. He might still be on stage. But everybody did really, really good. Really good. It was great.
And so
Yeah.
this was in Nashville.
This was in Nashville at the Raymond Theater, and it was the way they did the show. I mean, you don't complain, you don't say anything. They brought out the first comic, and then they brought the family out to read a letter from Sinbad, and then show Sinbad to the crowd.
This was a
And then,
fundraiser for Sinbad.
yeah,
Gotcha. Okay.
fundraiser for Sinbad. And then they brought me out. I'm like, why didn't
Oh,
y'all
you
do
got to
that
follow this.
first? Instead of. But it worked out. It was great. It was for a good cause, and we all had a good time. We all got to speak to Sinbad via, Zoom, and it was cool. Yeah.
Oh, nice. Okay, so let's hold off on talking about your conversation with him and what you all you
Okay.
guys talking to him, and we'll talk about that during entertainment. Because obviously he is one of the kings of
Yes,
comedy.
he definitely is.
And so we'll talk about that during the entertainment. So Jay, you obviously have been flying. Have you encountered any disruptions in the air?
No, not at all. And I've been seeing the fights, and I'm
No,
just
not the
thinking people.
fights, not the fights yet, but just South. And I'm not sure. Do you fly Southwest Airlines?
No,
Okay,
no, I don't
so
fly
Southwest
Southwest. No.
Airlines has grounded flights across the country today for the second time in less than 24 hours. This is a nationwide computer issue, or plural issues. And they took to Twitter, a lot of flyers took to Twitter by the thousands, they said, with reports of what the airline staff reportedly told them was a computer system snafu or outage, hours after intermittent performance issues with a third-party weather app forced a
Hmm.
similar group stop on Monday. So they had problems on Monday. They thought they had it taken care of. I guess some reports said that they had it taken care of. And then let's move over to today, Tuesday, and obviously still more problems. And they are saying that we are aware of the system issues, working quickly to resolve. We will share more info soon. I guess when we have it, you'll get it, maybe. Um, they said that it did, most operations did resume a couple of hours ago, but they attributed the meltdown to intermittent performance issues with network connectivity and said it had proactively canceled about 500 flights because of the disruption. I will tell you that today we had a power outage because, we're on that special grid in the state of
Right.
Texas.
In the state of Texas, where the grid is really, really bad. You know. Yeah. No, it is. Which is, I mean,
Oh, it is.
you just had it. You just had a
Yep,
problem
we
with
had
that.
it. We had it in the dead of winter. When
Right.
people went days and days without
And
power.
what's the name went to Cancun, right?
Yeah,
He
yeah,
sure
yeah,
did.
yeah.
So
Steve Cruz.
yeah.
I'm not sure where he was today, but it is hotter. It's getting to be hotter than hell, and the power
Is
was
it
off.
hotter than a mofo?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was waiting for that. I think it's safe that we can say that we are getting to hotter than a mofo weather. And
Well,
it was probably about 90 something this afternoon when the power did go off. And I'm not sure what it is right now, but I will tell you that it is a very hot Tuesday evening.
Sybil,
Now that
and you gotta know, we are so dead set on using all this internet. It is the way we function our lives, and
Yeah,
it's such an easy glitch to put into the system to knock us out. what would we do? What would we do if we couldn't get on the internet? And it could happen.
It
I mean, we
happened to
wouldn't
us
be able to do the
today.
show. I
It
mean, that's
happened
right.
to
We
us.
couldn't do the show, but
Yeah.
I mean, it's a possibility that they can knock out TV shows. They can stop cars.
Jay,
You know,
think about this. You're absolutely right. All of the things that the Russian mob are doing now in terms of hacking into the systems, of course, we know they went into the meat company, they went into the gas pipeline. There have been other issues that they have talked about, and everything that they're doing, it has to do with our way of life in America, America's way of life. You're talking about food, you're talking about gas, you're talking about communications. All of this stuff is going to be affected by these monsters, as well as weather. And
right?
so it is, and who's to say that they haven't hacked into our weather, into our
Right now,
electricity
you know,
grids? Yeah,
I was in a grocery store the other day, and I'm thinking, and I don't know, but I don't have a survival kit, and I'm just thinking
right.
maybe 70 or 80 people, 80% of the people don't. What do you do if you can't get to the grocery store to get more food?
Yeah,
We don't live on farms, we live we live like an apartment life.
yeah,
Even if you live in a house, you're
right.
going to the store to get more food. If the store shuts down, there's no electricity, there's no food, what the hell would you do?
Yeah.
What would you
So
do?
So did you have this when you were a kid? Because I did. And downstairs in our basement, my mother had a full shelving unit full of,
Yeah, we
canned.
had what's called a pantry. Yeah, we had
Yeah. And
canned
so,
goods and
yeah,
peaches and tomatoes. Yes, yes, yes. So
and
if
take
there was
all of
anything
those
that happened,
things.
we'd
Yep.
have peaches and tomatoes forever.
Well, my mother also had corned beef hash, which she
Corned beef, yeah,
loved.
we had that in there. Flour and
Um,
rice. You had flour and rice by the big cans.
or
Yeah.
and as you and George like to call them, the Vienna
Vienna
sausages.
sausages and sardines. Yeah, a lot
Yeah.
of that. Yes, yes.
Yes. Yeah.
So what would you
So
do? How many people are stocked up on food if
exactly. We
something
don't do that
happened?
anymore.
Yeah,
I tell you, the
yeah.
first time I was in radio, my first radio job, and it was in Florida. And the first time I came in contact with a hurricane, and a hurricane was coming to town, and I had no idea. And what I did was I just got my cart and I followed people throughout the store as
Right.
they were buying stuff. So they were
Whatever
buying
they bought, you
batteries,
bought. Right.
they were buying bottles of water, and all of the stuff. And I was on the radio telling people, be sure to stock up, get ready. And I wasn't ready. And at 2 o'clock in the morning, I'm walking through the store trying to figure out what the hell do I take back in
Well,
my little
and like when stuff like this happens, the first thing to go is the bread and toilet paper,
Oh
and then
yeah.
the
We
shelves are
saw that
empty.
with the pandemic. Yeah. Yeah. So if you're talking, I'm not hearing you right now, and I don't know why. I
Oh
think
my!
oh, there we
I'm
go.
on you know what happens? How do I get on the internet and not have anybody interrupt with calls? I guess I'm supposed to
Oh,
do.
gotcha.
Yeah, that's what's happening. Somebody's calling me. Right? But what
Jay,
would you
we're
do?
watching you
And
right now.
the other thing is, we laugh at these people who have these survival places in their basement,
Yeah.
but they're prepared for it.
Through Yolanda and Ward, I've met a couple who live off the grid, or they can. They're quite capable of doing that. They have 9 to 5s, but they also have a place that's off the grid where they live off the land with, they shoot their animals, prepare them, all of that stuff with the growing the vegetables and all that stuff. And I watched, this was NCIS New Orleans last night.
Uh-huh.
And this woman, the daughter disappeared. And this woman who was in the army, and her husband was in the army, but he left after Katrina, and he was so disappointed with the way the
Uh-huh.
government and FEMA had done that he just took off to life, living off the grid and everything. I mean, this man was so fully prepared and was training his daughter to do the same thing. And there's a growing community of people around the country that have learned to
My
live off the
sister, I
grid.
think if anything was to happen, my sister could live off the grid. Now, just mind you, if you have to be able to digest sweet potatoes and okra for like a year and a half, because and pecans, they got plenty of it.
Well, you got your protein, you got your good carbs in the sweet potatoes.
Sweet potatoes and
Pecans.
okra and pecans. They have lots of it. And you laugh at people who have these vegetable gardens and stuff like that. It's like a joke. Like, I don't need no garden, but what are you gonna do? What would you do? And you just sit and you think, well, why are the Russians picking on Southwest Airlines? But maybe they're not picking on them. It's just everybody's on the internet at one time.
Right.
And glitches are bound to happen. You're right, Sybil.
Yeah. And we're not suggesting that the Russians are doing whatever the problem is with Southwest. Okay, you're suggesting it. I'm not. But I am saying that we are at such a level and a state of panic and things like this. You know, the first thing that we could look at is, you know, oh, it's the Russians, or, you know, even like, you know, when we were without heat and now without air conditioning in Texas.
And
it's 97
it's so weird when you hear people go, well, I'm not going to take the shot because they're not going to have any information on me.
Right.
They got information on you.
Anyway.
They know where the hell you are.
Right. So this guy last night in the TV show, they had all the information on him, what he had done in the Army and his, you know, his whole career. And then they said in 2006, nothing since 2006. And so when they fall off the grid, you think, well, okay, you're not going to be able to find me now. Well, eventually somebody's going to talk and they're going to find me. You know, but Jay, I was talking about how we're at such a fever pitch and in such a state. And we've had reports of people just losing their ish, if you will, on these flights. So this is the latest one that a lot of people have seen. This was a Delta flight from LAX to Atlanta, was diverted after someone allegedly made terroristic threats. And it wasn't just any someone. This was a Delta employee off duty. Right?
Right. You going to play it? You got it? You got the clip?
We're looking for the clip, but do we have it? Okay. I was like, yeah, we got it. Okay, so let's take a look at it.
Damn, man. Damn. I'm going to pull it out, get to the very restraints.
I don't see it. Nothing yet.
Hey.
I need everyone to take their seats right now, with the exception of this group right here. We can't get forward with restraints if everybody's in the aisle. Where are the restraints? So the flight attendants in the back are bringing them.
Oh, shit, man.
Delta LAX in the past 2 weeks. This is the third time on a Delta flight. And I gotta tell you, I'm not trying to be funny, but when I heard this man scream out, help me, I honestly thought it was you, because you have, because if you've ever heard Jay do one of, help me! I'm looking and I'm trying to.
That's gotta be Jay. But it's an easy fix for the airlines, and the airlines don't want to do it. What they don't want to do is spread people out. They want to pack everybody else
in the seats,
back in. We just came in off of COVID. People are still tense. Do you have a mask? Do you have COVID? I don't know. So let's pack the planes back in. Let's get people all, clustered up, and people are going. And sometimes they're just fighting to have some leg room. They're not mad. Right. Just, if I get up and fight, I can move around for a while. So that's the problem. The airlines, and they got money. They got all this money when we started COVID.
Yeah, but they claim that they've lost so much, and so they're using this.
The CEOs got money. Nobody lost their job. I was talking to a flight attendant, and they said they were flying flights with empty flights.
Yeah,
and they
the
still
whole flight.
paid the employees. Yeah. So now they're back into operation. Let's pack everybody on these fucking flights. Let's get everybody clustered up, and tensions are going to flare. You can't pack. People don't want to live like that anymore.
That's right.
They don't want to fly like that. They don't want to live like that. And shame on the airlines for doing this. Spread these fucking, you don't even have leg room.
Right.
If you take out one row of seats, that would give people leg room.
And seat room, because they're making the seats smaller.
They're making the seats smaller, right?
Yeah, yeah. And Jay, it's not just the passengers. This is an off-duty flight attendant.
Right. Yeah.
So my question was, when this guy steps up with his credentials and he's wearing a helmet and a baseball cap, as well as other paraphernalia, nobody stopped to say, "Bruh, step over to the side. Let's talk
keep an eye on this guy." What?
No, you're no longer our problem. You go ahead and get on the flight. As long as you're dressed appropriately. Excuse me, but wearing a helmet, and knee pads.
It's the airline, Sybil. They don't care. They don't plan to rectify the problem of packing people on these planes. Like I said, we just came out of COVID and we were clustered in a closed area for a long time. Now I got to go see grandmama or take a trip, and I'm going to sit next to a person and everybody knows the middle seat is the worst seat in the world.
Right.
Nobody wants to sit in it. Eliminate the middle seat. Give people some leg room, and you might alleviate the problem of people being clustered in on the airplane.
Yeah.
They don't want it. The average flight is 4 hours.
Yeah.
4
That's
hours.
crazy. That's crazy. And I don't need your snacks. I can bring my own. I'm good. I really enjoyed flying Delta during the pandemic because they did have, and I believe they were the ones that stayed with the middle seat blocked off for the longest period of time.
But they're back to normal now.
They're back to
normal now.
Yeah.
Hey, look at this. You buy a ticket, say an average ticket is going to cost you $500. No matter where you're going. You get to the airport, they're going to charge you another $75 fucking dollars for your luggage, because that's not even included. You want to get a snack, so you say, well, I'll get there 2 hours early, which means I can get in a Starbucks line and get coffee because I got 2 hours. It takes two more hours to get coffee out of Starbucks, which is a $15 coffee. Now, don't tell me, now you get on a plane and it's packed. You're sitting next to the guy next to me. Now, the guy sitting next to me, he gets on the plane and he wipes down everything.
Right.
When I tell you this guy had the hairiest fucking arms you ever see, I'm feeling hair the whole. And don't get me wrong, I'm a hair guy. I like a little hair.
You like, on your women.
I'm a guy who likes hair, but not from a guy I don't know. It's like
you're like a hairy woman, but not a hairy guy.
Am I sitting next to Chewbacca or something? What the hell is going on? So when you put all those things together, you get people in the air. They're gonna be tense. The airline doesn't give a shit. They know people gotta fly. They know people gotta fly. They can charge you what they want to. They can do what they want to with you. And if you act up, they put you on the no-fly list. Complain.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. But here's the other thing, Jay, because people are so nervous about getting back on the planes and they have this waiting time. There's a lot of drinking going on in those bars. They even have carts now and so they will have a cart follow people from gate to gate. And so people can, they don't even have to go look for a bar. They got a bar, it comes to you. And so there's a lot of drinking.
If you're a middle-sized person, and you get in your seat and you see, look, I'm not fat. Don't get me wrong. I'm a little chunky, but when I see a fat person coming down the aisle, I don't care who you are. You're saying to yourself, Lord, please don't let them sit next to me. You're saying that, and big people get offended, but it's a problem. You just because you fold your fucking arms, you got waste all over in my seat. You fly
Jay, you are fat shaming in your skinny role now.
Yes, I am. I am fat shaming, and I'd like to get somebody while we're at it, get some of these crying ass babies off this fucking site. While we're at it.
The babies don't have to wear masks.
Yeah, and another thing, I'm not finished, Sybil, and I need leg room in the restroom, okay?
Oh my gosh. You have a whole manifesto of things that you want. The JAB flying manifesto.
Yeah, I can't. I'm in the restroom like
As skinny as you are.
I can't even get things out. You know what I mean? But let me tell you, if you want to have some fun on the airline, the funniest thing you can do, and I've done this, you wait till there's an old white lady that goes to the restroom. You ask the person next to you, I need you to film this for me. I'm going to the restroom when this lady comes out. When she comes out, you go in and you come out, you go, oh my God, what in the, oh shit. Oh Jesus Christ. What are you doing here?
So
it's gotta be a white lady, okay? Gotta be white.
Okay, and you wonder why Karens are angry at us.
Yeah, what in the hell? Oh, what is?
So we're going to talk during entertainment about the latest movie that we've both seen, but I want to talk about an issue that has come out of In the Heights. This is the movie that from the Broadway show created by Lin-Manuel Miranda.
Who's in the movie?
Yeah, he is. He plays a neighborhood guy, a frozen ice guy. So as opposed to not so frozen ice.
Yeah.
But the problem, Jay, is the question of colorism. Did you notice how many light-skinned Latinas and Latin men were in this movie as opposed to the darker skinned Latin people?
And I'm sure, and not only that, but no disrespect to his craft, the movie was too damn long.
We're going to talk about that issue, but right now, the colorism thing is creating a lot of controversy.
But you know who was in this movie? The lady from Orange Is the New Black, who I had a TV crush on. She's in this movie. Yeah, but you're right. The light skin, there was so many light skinned characters in this movie. It's like, come on, Emmanuel.
There was one dark-skinned Latin person. Check this out. That's Corey Hawkins.
Yes. He played
Straight Outta Compton. He played Dr. Dre in Straight Outta Compton.
No, is he Latin? I didn't know.
Well, I don't know that he's Latin, but he played a darker skinned Latin person. He was a part of the community, the family, the best friend of Anthony Ramos's character, and was in a relationship with one of the lighter skinned Latinos.
Well, the other things that people are talking about is the LGBT not represented enough in his movie also, and especially in this movie, where you're playing Washington Heights, you had one character which kind of represented the LGBT, but other than that, everybody was light-skinned in the movie, and that's no mistake. That's not a mistake for them to do that. It's by choice that they pick light-skinned actors in movies.
Right, and he's owned up to it. He says, "You're right. I did not do my due diligence and show the whole rainbow of colors, if you will, the spectrum of Latinos from one skin tone to the other side of it." He has owned up to it, but a lot of people, and I don't know if you saw The View today, but there was a really interesting discussion, and that was between Ana Navarro, who is a light complected Latina, and Sunny Hostin, who is a darker skinned Latina. And so they're, talking about Lin-Manuel Miranda and how much good he has done and everything like that. But Sunny really made her point in that in her community, when she was growing up, people did not believe that she was Latina because
she was dark skinned.
Because of her dark skin. And was she really not Afro-Latina, and that whole question.
It's possible to put a creation together like he did. He took a lot of work to do this, and I thought, applaud what he did. Mm-hmm. But the other thing that he did was when he did the Hamiltons. in terms of not
Right.
focusing on slavery. He actually went back after he did the Hamiltons and made songs that pertain to slavery, which was very prevalent in that particular time. So, you know,
But he was also lauded for the fact that he put so many people of color in those roles.
You give him a plus for that, but then you kind of take away for the fact that he didn't really address the slavery thing in that movie. And with a body of work like that, you know, Sybil, you're gonna miss something, and somebody's gonna be upset, and it's just something that happens. But for the body of work that he did with this movie, I mean, it was great. It was really great.
It really was. And we will talk about, you know, our thoughts about the movie when we come up to entertainment. But I did want to talk about that particular issue. And I'm wondering, and as we go into our conversation, if people want to log on and talk about if they have seen the movie or not, and what that means. So, and did they enjoy it or not? And we'll bring that up during our conversation during the entertainment section. Do you want to talk about what you need to know, Jay? And this is regarding also one of our favorite people, Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Yeah, took it back, huh?
She was. There was word that a censure was being prepared and perhaps going to be presented as early as tomorrow by Brad Schneider, who is a Jewish member of Congress from the state of Illinois. He was preparing this resolution condemning her for her remarks comparing the wearing of masks to the Holocaust and saying that, you know, the yellow stars that Jews had to wear that were condemned by the Nazis and that they had to wear. This was what Nancy Pelosi was
equivalent to
the
Holocaust.
Yeah,
you know.
Comparing it to the Holocaust. Well, guess what? She got religion, if you will, and went to the Holocaust Museum and came out and apologized.
Yes.
Now, this is not the first time she's apologized for some stupidity, but she did apologize. And I don't know if people are really taking her seriously. I wouldn't if I were them.
I don't buy it, Sybil. I'm with you.
What?
I don't buy it. It's the same thing that Bennigan Ads has been doing for years. Let's put the racist shit out there. Let it flow. Let it get, you know, some traction, and then go, we're sorry.
Right.
So, you know, it's BS what she's doing. She knew what she was saying. She knew it was wrong. And now she goes to the Holocaust. You're like, hell, you could have went to the Holocaust before you made that damn statement. But the thing that really upsets me is that it's like, when do we get called to be seated, Sybil?
Right.
I mean, you say something about the Jews, you're gonna get ridiculed. You say something about Asians, you're gonna get ridiculed. You say something about LGBT, they're gonna wear your ass out. But you can beat the shit out of black people every day.
Come on.
And nobody says nothing.
Preach.
Not one thing.
And Jay, not only get the beat the you know what out of them, but they get killed.
Get killed. No, I'm not gonna sit here and say LGBT people aren't getting killed and Asians aren't getting attacked. But they passed an Asian law, and the lynching law has been on the books for years. You can still lynch black people? I mean, give me a break.
And they're still doing it, and they're not calling them on it. Right.
And not only that, Sybil, no disrespect to anybody who's Asian who owns their own business, but they don't trade with us at all. They don't buy
and you know this. You can speak
us.
To this.
They don't buy shit from us. You very seldom see an Asian standing in line at a black-owned business. Right. And I'm telling you the truth. But we run to there and buy from them all the time.
And let them follow us all over the store for fear, you know, that I'm gonna steal from them. And,
you buy. I'm buying.
You touch, not break. Touch. Touch. Yeah.
Yes. You touch, you buy. I'm buying. I'm gonna be buying.
So you make up a great point. And here's the other thing about this. The censure that was presented yesterday, this was by a group of Republicans, 3 Republicans, and they were there to censure Congresswoman Ilhan Omar. On the other side of this, these were Jewish politicians who were condemning Omar and the other members of the squad, including Ayanna Pressley from Massachusetts Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez from New York, and Rashid Tlaib of Michigan for statements that publicly supports the actions of a recognized terrorist organization and inciting anti-Semitic attacks in the U.S.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying this again. Their movement is covered. Their movement is covered in terms of if anything said about Jews that's derogatory. And hey, we salute that.
And they're right.
No,
I mean, they're
we're
absolutely
right. They have the right. But like I said, when do we get a seat at the table?
Right.
And when do we? Not one congressman or one Republican has stood up and denounced any of this shit that these Republicans have said against Black men and Black women and people being killed on the street and being harassed. But they passed the Asian law. I mean, and we can't get fucking civil rights. Man.
Jay, they don't even want to acknowledge the insurrection that took place in which the N-word was just spewed about by all of those crazy people who were out there, you know, and talking about the Black policemen and talking about the sexuality of them and all this other stuff. They don't even want to address the event, let alone come to the rescue and to the honor of people who were there to save their lives.
Well, you know, the way the country is set up, you have a small minority of people controlling a large majority of people. And I don't know how we're going to get these people out. We can't get the filibuster thrown out with Manchin just being the way he is. And it's like Biden is screwed. He's
not screwed. And I'm not gonna go so far as to say he's screwed, because we have a chance to not only to increase the number of Democrats in the House as well as the Senate next year, but we got to work hard on this.
We got to vote.
We got to register and we got to vote. I will say this every day if I have to. The entire United States House of Representatives is up for election next year. 1/3 of the Senate is up for election next year, and that includes the state of Georgia, where Reverend Raphael Warnock is running for re-election because he was only elected to fill that small term.
In somebody's place, right.
So this is really crucial. You're not going to vote out Mitch McConnell. He just won re-election, but you can vote in enough people to make it possible that 60 vote filibuster is not necessary.
And he's already said that if they get control,
that's the next
that
story.
He's not going to, you know, I mean, and why not put your hand out there? Why not put it out now? Because that's what he did. But it's like
he's telling us, and he's daring us. What are you gonna do about it?
Yeah, nothing. And there's nothing you can do. There's nothing you can do unless you vote him out. He's running like he's in charge of the Republican Party, and he's not. He's running his mouth like he's the guy. He ain't. And the guy who's in charge is like, well, whatever Mitch says, you know.
It's crazy because, you know, the guy in charge, he doesn't like Mitch and Mitch doesn't like the guy in charge, but it doesn't matter because they are in this horrific gang of just the devils that they are and doing wrong and trying to keep Black people down.
Yeah. The plan is to, like I said last week, the plan is to do nothing and act like you did everything when something happens good.
Come on.
It's a simple plan. It gives the Republicans the ability to do nothing. They don't have to do anything. They don't have to help. They don't have to lend a hand. They don't have to vote on anything. And if something works, like the coronavirus that happened to work, now they're going around talking about, well, we did it. Trump did it. You know, I'm just, it's frustrating.
But look at the damage that was done in its place, you know, and still nobody has brought a charge against Donald Trump for not doing more to stop the coronavirus when he had the opportunity. So the story we're talking about is Mitch McConnell announcing plans to block Biden's Supreme Court pick in 2024.
But see, that's the thing, Sybil. Biden can increase the Supreme Court right now.
And he insists upon doing things by the old rules. He insists upon, this is the way we've done it always, and so this is the way we're going to continue to do it.
He can increase the Supreme Court. He can make at least 3 to 4 Supreme Court nominees. They can get passed. He can put them on the Supreme Court. He can increase. There was a time when there were more than more than what we have now on the Supreme Court. There were more than 9. So if when is he going to do that? This attitude of we're going to all work together and we're going to try to do
this kumbaya stuff that he's trying. I really
applaud him for that, but
because he's a nice guy. But nice guys don't always win.
Who said that? Baseball guy. Who said Louis? The baseball coach said nice guys finish last.
That was Leo DeRocha.
Leo DeRocha said it. Yeah. He was right. He was right.
Yeah, nice guys finish last. Yeah. And it's the truth. And Joe Biden, you gotta, get some of that mean off the streets kind of stuff you talk about, and get in there, because they are not playing fair.
No, they're not gonna play fair, and they don't have to play fair. It's the same reason why you sit up and ask yourselves why there are not so many blacks on television or in commercial or in sports, is because they don't have to play fair to succeed.
Right.
They do not have to play fair to succeed. And the sooner or later,
they've seen it, and it's working.
We've seen it, and it's over and over and over again. You're right.
Right. Jay, there are several states that are seeing a rise in COVID-19 infections, and the Johns Hopkins University says 8 states are currently seeing an increase in the infections. Alabama, Arkansas, Hawaii, Missouri, Nevada, Texas, Utah, and Wyoming have seen cases spike in the past 2 weeks. And with the exception of Hawaii, these states have lower than average vaccination rates, and many of them are in the South.
And these mostly are Republican states.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
When they decreased the ability to wear masks, not only not wear masks, but not encouraging people to get vaccinated.
Right.
So these are the numbers they're going to have. The My Pillow guy with his dumb ass has this, is saying that he has this concoction that he can take and he's never going to get COVID. So when you have people out there saying stuff like
Donald Trump was talking about bleach and all that other stuff too.
Dr. Fauci is a fake, and so they're not going to take it. They're just not. Yeah.
Fake news. I want folks to take a look at the story that we did on the social activist. Her name is Asia Brown, a young woman out of Mississippi, who is the only Black volunteer escort to patients coming into the only clinic and abortion clinic for people in the state of Mississippi. A really dynamic young woman. I want you to take a look at that, as well as our health and wellness. And I want to send out a shout out to my cousin Joe Jackson. Is feeling better. Has had some health challenges, but the doctor.
Michael Jackson, Joe Jackson.
not Papa Joe. This is Cousin Joe.
Joe Jackson.
Yeah.
Is this the minister?
Joe. Yeah, Pastor Joe Jackson. Okay. But I talked to him today, and he was actually, I thought he would be in the hospital for a couple of days, and he was on his way. His wife let him take the car and drive to the drugstore so he could get his subscriptions, prescriptions.
And while we're doing shout outs, let me do a shout out to my good friend Shawnee Mack. I went out there to see him.
Yeah,
and hung out, and it was cool. And then I have another friend of mine who's under the weather. I'm going to go see him, Julian Jones. I'm going to go see him. He's in Philadelphia. So I'll go check him out too. But I hope you guys get better, along with Sinbad.
Yeah. And so we'll talk about Sinbad, because I really want to hear about him. Jay, it is now time for our trending video. And I don't know if you know, as a comedian, there are always these rivalries, or people have a lot back and forth about who
did whose joke, right?
Whose joke, right? And so Cat Williams has accused Cedric the Entertainer of stealing his joke, and Cedric, being the class act that he is, has come back with his response. Let's take a look.
What up, y'all? What's up? It's Sid. I'm gonna address this Cat Williams thing one time, man. I saw people on there really commenting about that. Look, I have no idea what this brother is talking about. That joke is over 30 years old, close to 30-something years old. I did the Kings of Comedy in 1999. Probably had been doing that joke 6-7 years before that. I don't even know if Cat was doing comedy then. So, you know, again, he's a talented brother. I have no idea what he's talking about. I've never seen Cat do a space shuttle joke. So, you know, that may be something that he believes is true. I've written a lot of jokes. I've had a lot of comedians steal my jokes as well. So I understand if you feel, you know, slighted by that, but that's my joke. That's my joke, dog. Driving a space shuttle to the moon, cigarette, cutie pie rocking in the background, parallel parking the space shuttle. It's my joke, though. So that's where I believe it to be. So that's all I can say about that, man. I'm not going to be in no back and forth about this. I've been doing this, dog. So that's all I can really say. Got a lot of jokes throughout the career, lot of humor, lot of doing it on different platforms. So, you know, keep rocking, Cat. Do your thing.
Well, Sybil, I just have to say this.
Let me ask the question of the day, and then we'll talk, because I want
Okay.
people to respond to this as well. So, have you ever been accused of something that you did not do, and how did you react? So, for people that are watching, if you may not have had a joke stolen from you, you may not have been on a radio show where you said something and then somebody else said something, that same thing. But have you ever been accused of something that you didn't do, and how did you react? Okay,
Sybil,
Jay. Go.
Sybil, hell yeah, I've been married 3 times. Yes, yeah. Yeah, you want to ask me something like that. But here's the thing, Sybil, and I'm serious about this. I did not know what the joke was until I heard the joke.
Mm-hmm.
And in all sincerity and truthfulness, and I'm not joking, the joke really belongs to me. It's my joke. And I wrote the joke. I don't know how Cat got it. I don't know how Cedric got it. And if you think I'm lying, you can ask Leslie Jones. She was there when I...
You can't even say it with a straight face, huh?
You can ask Leslie Jones. She was there when I wrote the joke.
Okay. You're so silly. But Jay, who hasn't been accused? I mean, what comedian has not been accused of, you know, taking somebody else's material?
I mean, when you start out, you do. I mean, I did Richard Pryor and Bill Cosby stuff. It didn't go over, but I did it, you know, to kind of get my feet. And I've had comics steal stuff from me, and you move on, man. I mean, these are both 2 talented brothers.
Yeah.
In the comedy reel, and like I said, it's 30 years old. Let it go, you know.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, move on. But the joke's mine. It's actually my joke. And Leslie Jones was there when I. Leslie Jones was there when I wrote the joke.
For the record, Leslie Jones was there when you wrote the original joke about space shuttle with on the sky.
Joke. Yeah, I wrote that. That's mine.
Okay.
Doesn't belong to either one of them.
No,
me.
It's yours. Okay. I'm gonna have to see some trademark papers.
Yeah,
pal.
But you know, that's the problem that as comedians that we have, where we don't get to copyright our stuff. We don't have the luxury as a songwriter who writes a song and is getting paid when they play that song on the radio. And radio stations play comedy bits all the time and don't pay comics. So that's the problem that we have. You can go in a club and look. This is something that's been going on for years. You know, when black comics couldn't get on television, white comics would go up to Harlem, sit in the audience, and then go back, you know, uptown or downtown and do their stuff. You know, Who's On First is a straight derivative from Picnic Markham's bit. I got $20 and you got 22. It's their bit. They were doing it before these guys. You got white guys who were playing black guys on the radio. So people in comedy has been going on for years, man. So, you know, I say move on, let it go. You know, we're all making a nice living at something we never thought we could make a living at. I did.
Amy W says, I was accused of stealing from a Goodies clothing store when they were still open, and I cursed the store clerk out. So this is Goodies, not Ross, right?
No, Goodies, man.
I'm sorry, Amy. I've been accused of stealing too, at a Walgreens of all places.
Well, now you were accused, but we do know that back in the day, you got the worst whooping you ever got
For
was
stealing.
because you did steal
I
something.
did steal.
Share with the people, Sybil.
I stole a tricycle. I rode 2 blocks into the corner store, took a box of Cheez-Its off the rack, got back on the tricycle. Well, actually, I just rode right up to the shelf on the tricycle and then rode 2 blocks back to give my mother the Cheez-Its that she so loved. And then my mother proceeded to beat the living daylights out of me because I had done this without the acknowledgement of anyone. Obviously, I was 2. So, asking permission to do that didn't occur to me. I just got up and stole a little boy's tricycle and went on.
And rode to the store.
Yeah. So I too have been accused of stealing.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, House. Space Shuttle with the diamond in the back. I second that you wrote that joke, Jay. All right, my man House, James House, the actor extraordinaire. Kimberly Jackson on Facebook said Leslie and TK Kirkland were there because TK claims he was there for all the milestones. That's great.
Oh my
That's
God.
great.
Yes.
Yeah, everybody's got,
Everybody's got a
yeah.
joke about the stealing of jokes. Okay, all right.
But I have heard people say that they don't like to go and watch people
When certain
do
people
comedy.
in the audience because they will steal your joke.
Yeah.
Carlos Mencia has been sued for stealing jokes. Comics have gotten into fights for stealing. And I'll tell you, as a guy who's owned a comedy club, the biggest fights and the biggest arguments that I've ever had was between comedians about whose joke this was. He didn't introduce me right. He knows that's my music. He's talking to people and I only talk to people. So, as you know, you worked around comics for years. We are the most edgiest people you ever want to meet.
A little wired a little tightly.
Included, okay?
Included. Wound a little tightly. Yeah. But still some of the greatest fun you'll ever have being around these tightly wound comedians. But it does come at a cost. Yeah, you're absolutely right.
It does.
Yeah. So Jay, that is our question of the day, and I want to talk a little bit of entertainment. As we mentioned, and I think we mentioned this a couple of weeks ago, your girl in your head, wife in your head, girlfriend in your head, ever-loving woman in your head, Fantasia, has had another baby.
Wow.
And now she has come out and told us about the difficulties this child has had and has been in the NICU, in the neonatal intensive care unit, and will hopefully be coming home soon. But we do have a picture of her with the baby, and that's her little bundle of joy. And talking about all of the prayers and everything. And
we pray for her. Yeah, hope that she pulls through, and the baby too.
But you don't pray for her husband, do you?
No, I mean, I don't want anything bad to happen to the guy, but hey.
You had her first.
I was lusting first.
Okay. So you didn't have her.
No,
you were lusting first.
I lusted long before he was in the picture.
I think it was before even the first husband was in the picture.
I know. Hey, Sybil. On American Idol, I saw her, But anyway.
And every week he would, that's my girl Tasia. That's my girl Tasia. Yeah. And found out what her favorite flower was, would send them to her. Oh yeah. He and Tasia go back a long way.
We go way back. But I hope everything.
But that baby is way too light to be yours, so I guess there's no question.
I'm taking rejection well, okay?
You have great stamina. Because you have gone after many a woman and
that I didn't get, huh?
Yeah. I've seen it. My friend.
You've seen it firsthand. All right.
I know. Speaking of light-skinned, let's go back to talking about In the Heights. You and I both saw it. I saw it on HBO. Did you see it in the theater?
I saw it in the theater, but the theater is empty, so it wasn't that rah-rah, type thing. It's being shown in a lot of theaters. My only complaint was the movie was just a little bit too long.
I thought so too.
The book in this was nowhere near the book. And for those who don't know what book is a collaboration of songs and a play, and nowhere near what Hamilton was. But it's really good.
But this
Really,
was
really
before
good.
Hamilton. It was written before Hamilton.
This
And
was,
so-
yeah, he did this before. This was done years
Yeah,
ago, right? This
yeah,
was done
yeah.
when he was
And
in
so In the
college.
Heights
Yeah.
was on Broadway
Yes,
long
yes,
before
yes.
Hamilton was.
Mhm.
And
he just-
I really enjoyed it so much so that I text you, I'm ready to go back to Broadway and
me
to
too,
watch
Sybil.
to
I
see the
gotta have
show.
it. I gotta have
Yeah.
it. I gotta,
I
revamp what. I gotta go
however
back and
close
see
we
Hamilton
are,
again.
yeah.
And some of the newer plays that are gonna come out. I
Hopefully
love
we'll be out
plays.
there.
I understand Mr. Perry's gonna go back out. I love seeing that type of stuff. I just love plays. It's great.
Will J. Anthony Brown be a part of it?
Look, I would love to be in a Tyler Perry's play. I would love to be, but I think the Browns have that covered. And I'm just happy with Assisted Living coming on tonight at 9:30, baby.
8:30 Central on
You got
BET. That's right. That's right. And we don't want to miss that because that's taken you to a whole nother level now.
That's season 2, baby. Yes, it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable, that show, the fun we had with Mr. Brown, Tamala Man, Courtney, and Naheem, and all the other people that are involved in it. We did it. We were on lockdown when we did the show, so and it was great. All you had to do was concentrate on your lines, and some days we do 3 shows, some days we do 2, but we got season 2 done. So we're playing on.
And that's 40-something episodes in the series, right? In the season.
No, each season has 25 episodes. 25 to 26. So we'll wait to see. We do season 3, and then season 4, and then season 5, and season 6, and then I might not be showing up for this.
I know. We're lucky to have you. We are lucky to have you. You
He's
tell
in
us that
season 6.
every week.
He won't.
No. Mr. Brown, or as your mama used to say, Brown.
Yeah. No, I'll always be here, Sybil. No.
Well, you know what? We love having you. As he clears his throat.
Yes, I'll be here.
Did you watch the Westminster dog show? I don't have the pictures, but did you see?
Yeah, I did see.
Yeah.
That is the ugliest damn dog. It looks like a Swiffer. I have no idea how the hell that dog won. I mean, you spend all this time grooming your dog, and this is the damn dog they picked.
That's Wasabi.
It looks like something that's under the bed that you pull out under the bed. And you go, what is that? It looks like a dust bunny. What the hell?
That's Wasabi the Pekingese.
The Pekingese, right?
Yeah.
He's the winner.
He won. He was the overall winner of the Westminster.
You were going to do a story. I think Barry Bonds had a dog.
Barry Bonds did have his dog in there. So Kimmel last night had a very funny bit.
Saw that.
You saw it. Okay, so I wanted to find the picture of this, but Barry Bonds' dog is a miniature schnauzer. One of my early dogs in my childhood was a miniature schnauzer, Sir Lancelot. But his dog was a miniature schnauzer, and he said that Barry Bonds has lost a lot of weight, and he really does. Right. He looks very thin because he's not on the roids anymore. but they showed a picture of the dog, and the dog was really buff.
That's not the picture they showed.
No, that's the real thing.
Yeah, that's the real picture. But
they enhanced the picture of the miniature schnauzer, and he had the shoulders, the arms were
fat, right.
It was hilarious. It was really funny. So I know that Jimmy Kimmel does a lot of stuff that a lot of people don't like, but sometimes
was funny. That was funny.
Yeah. I know some people are still hating on him for for the blackface and all that kind of stuff, but I got to tell you,
the thing he does is to me one of the Halloween with the candy and
kids.
That that is so.
And to get celebrities, he tells the kids that
he tells the kids that I ate all of your candy.
Right. The morning after Halloween, the kids get up and they, their parents are promising them, okay, we'll give you a piece here and a piece there and put your candy here. And the kids wake up and there's no candy. I'm like, where's my candy? Candy's gone, kid.
I love it.
And the kids, the reactions are priceless. They really are. Really are. The one that I like are the celebrities are reading the mean tweets about themselves that people have sent in. That people have tweeted out, so it's funny. J. Anthony Brown, I have a couple of things left. First of all, I want to do the happy video of the day. Now, I am calling this the happy video of the day because I think this will make you very happy.
Let's
So
see.
take a look.
Let's see what we got. Let's see what we got.
Can I say a bad word? Can I say a bad word? Yeah. You motherfucking bitch!
Can I say a bad word? Can I say a bad word? Yes, go. I'm on the phone. Did that make you happy?
To be that young and to have the words flow that fluently from a small child, she's just gonna grow up to be one of the great cussers of all time. She was.
Can you imagine? She's like, she can't be any more than 2, 3.
Wanted to say.
She
all
knew.
she needed was permission
Yeah.
to fire that off.
In great, I mean, the sequence, everything was like.
Word?
Can I say a bad word? Can I say a bad word?
Play it again, Sybil. You got to see how enthused this kid is. How she's just excited.
Here we go.
Can I say a bad word? Can I say a bad word? Yeah. You motherfucking bitch!
The more I watch it, the more I laugh. Because initially I'm like, that's not cute. That's
very cute, Sybil. It's very cute.
But Samuel, you're right. Michael Stallworth on Facebook said Samuel L. Jackson would applaud her. Absolutely right. J. Anthony Brown and Samuel L. Jackson would be giving her a standing O.
One of the greatest cussers of all time. And if you've ever seen the movie Snakes on a Plane, they actually they had to go back and put that in the movie because he didn't curse the whole movie.
Right.
And so they said,
it's like can't be a Sam Jackson movie without Snakes on a Plane. Are you serious? Yeah. So, before we go, I want to leave you with Yogi's Jewels. Can I say a bad word? Can I say a bad word? I have nice words to say. Yogi's daily inspiration for today: the storms of life build strength of character. Think about that, Jay. The storms of life build strength of character. And that's true.
So will 3 divorces. So, we'll give you character too, Sybil. And it's definitely a storm of life.
You win. One more thing. We didn't talk enough about your event in Nashville. So will you come back next week and we'll talk about it?
I definitely will. It was great. Okay. Everybody came out to support Sinbad, and we hope he's feeling better. Hope he gets back on the road because he was in good spirits, and everybody came. I thank everybody who came out last night.
Nice.
And tonight, Assisted Living, 9:30, 8 o'clock.
And you're going back out on the road too.
I'm going back on the road. In fact, I'll be at the Hog Pen this weekend. It's actually a biker club, but
that's a good place to be in the Hog Pen.
The Hog Pen is in Raleigh, North Carolina. I'll be at the Hog Pen on Saturday night.
Okay, go meet our boss hog at the Hog Pen.
Go Hogs.
Okay. Bye, everybody. Thanks, Jay. Tomorrow we'll have Stephen Hill and Myra J. and State Senator Royce West from the great state of Texas after speaking with the vice president tomorrow. Talk to you. Have a good night. Bye.